this weekend been very interesting in that I was talking to someone, just happened to run into them, and he had gotten fat. But I didn't bring up the fact that he was fat. He just brought it up because he knew he was fat, and he used not be fat. And so he was like, oh, I'm fat because, I was like, why? He said, because I was fighting for my child. My daughter's mother would not let me see her, or his son, I think. And I haven't seen my son in 1 or 2 years, and he's now 16, I can't see him. And so what I did was, I couldn't fight no more, so I just became a drunk. Now I get drunk all the time, I just eat, and I don't work out, I don't do anything. I'm like, yeah, you're pretty fat. But I understand, man. And then, so that story happened, and I'm listening to them speak, paying attention to this person talking. And then I was invited to I didn't know where I was going. I thought I was just going to breakfast with someone. They're like, hey, come and let's go out to breakfast. So apparently I was invited to this group that meets once a month or so, and they're real private. They're not on the internet, they're nowhere. They're afraid to even let it be known, right? But this person saw that, they listened to my show, they've been helped a lot, and they have forgiven. They thought, well, you'll be a good help. So I went to this meeting, and these men and women of all kind of professions, I mean, intellectually smart people and all that, they had been told you remember there was a time, and it still is, when all those TV shows and the experts was having people get up in the public and tell their business, and, I was raped by a cow, or being all on television and everything, and the council tell them, you need to express it, you need to tell it, put it out there, right? I got raped by my cousin, my uncle, my uncle raped me, and all kinds of stuff. And then they into other things that had taken over their life. And there was a period when the women were, especially the expert women, were encouraging men and women to put their stuff out there in the streets, on TV and everywhere. And they thought that putting it out there was going to help them to stop doing it, stop being that way, that something was going to change. But years went by and no change came for them. But what did happen is that when they put their business out there, everywhere they go, they're being judged. When they go to work, sometimes it's hard for some of them to find jobs now because people already know your business. These are men and women. I was like, not stunned, but I was stunned to be there because I thought I was just going to a normal breakfast. And now they have to go underground and trying to work this thing out, how to deal with the attack from the world now. That it said, I remember when you said this on TV, or I saw you this thing, you were saying that you were a slut, you were this, and you were gay, and you were lesbian, and you were drunk. People remember that stuff, and they're being judged. But they thought that when they said it out loud publicly, that they were going to get over it. They thought by putting it out there was helping them, but it was hurting, because they didn't understand the spirit of it. They didn't know they must be born again of the Father, that it was something that you had to overcome. And so what I realized, and this went on for an hour or so, the breakfast was delicious though. Onion brown breakfast is the best breakfast. Because they got to give you something. Nobody else know how to help you with the ego, right? It was the best breakfast. I hope they invite me again. Invite me again just for the food. But what they didn't know is that they had to be born again. Though many of them were Christians, they have heard about being born again, but they had not been born again. They still had anger, and they had identified with the thing that they had put out there. They really thought it was them, yet they were struggling with it, but they thought that they were going to accept it if they went public, that it would become a norm, it would be accepted because everybody else into something too. And they are miserable. They're in hiding. And they are amongst the people working and stuff, but they're in hiding. To the point that some of them are even afraid to have a conversation because they don't want to be judged. And then the person that's been fighting for his son, when he was telling me about it, as these people, when they were talking about it, I realized that it was all for the thrill of it. It was just for the thrill of it. Human beings love thrills. They love telling you their problems and you feeling bad for them. They get a good feeling from talking about how hard life is and how rough it is. I've been raped. I've been robbed. I've been this and I'm lonely and I'm this. And if you sit there and listen to them, they get high off that. I love my children, so I fought with the mother in court to try to get them. I'm a father, and I'm supposed to be with my children. It's just for the thrill. They can care less about the children. Fathers who fight for children can care less. And the mother who will fight and keep the children away from the father can care less about the children. It's all about the thrill of it. When people start talking, the first thing they say, I this and I that. I'm a lawyer. I'm a this. I'm a good this. I'm a good that. It's all for the thrill of it. It's all about the I. It's all about self. Anyone that has anger, I don't care what the situation is, it's all about self. It's never, ever about the other person. It's all about self. It can't help it because just think about it. The nature of anger is the nature of evil. It's the nature of the devil. So you need a new nature, right? And in your nature, it's all about you. And so fathers who fight for children are not doing it out of love. If they were doing it out of real love, they wouldn't cut the baby in half ever. They're like, okay, take the baby. You can have it. No problem. And 99.9% of the time, if they were not trying to get a false feeling from it, the woman wouldn't take them. Because she only take them because she hate the man. She want to control. She trying to do something to make her ego feel good. And when she know that the man children mean something to him, that's the first thing she going after. And then your money. And so I want to just say is that my assignment this week, you all can test this. First, look at yourself and see that you're all about you. It's all about what I want, how I feel, what I'm going to gain or lose. Or like the young lady was saying, I'm building this mountain, this high mountain. I want credit for it. I ain't giving God no credit. I'm God. I built this. This is my pain. This is my work. This is me. I went to school 50 years for this. It's all about self. It is never about the other person. Never. Well, we'll lie and say it's about the other person because you're trying to fool the other person so you get what you want, right? But it's never about the other person. That's why we need a brand new nature. We must be born again. Anyone that has anger has the nature of Satan. And in his nature, there's no love. It's all about self. And what I want you to do this week, just quietly, first of all, see how selfish you are. Don't lie to yourself, even if you don't tell the person, I'm being selfish. At least you be honest about, inwardly, you see that you're saying this thing or doing this thing because you want something from it. You want something from it, even if you want people to think you smart or something. Or you want people to think you're dumb or something. You want something from it. And pay attention to that. And so when you, for 1 week only, this time I'm saying 1 week only, but if you want to take it further, you can. When you're dealing with people this week, quietly just watch. And you'll see that this person, It's all about what they want for themselves. It had nothing to do with nobody else but themselves. Angry people are not for anyone. That's why families don't work, friendships don't work, jobships don't work, familyship don't work, the kidship, because it's never about the other person. It's impossible to be about that because your nature is wrong. You have an evil nature. You must be born again, and when you're born again of the Father by realizing that you're wrong for hating, and you go and forgive, the light comes on. And when the light comes on, it will kill that nature of the devil and give you a brand new nature. It really will. There's nothing you can do about it. And that's, I understand when you say, oh, it's just not the same. It looks like I'm going to die by myself. In reality, you're going to die by yourself anyway. Because even if you had the whole crowd of family members around while you're dying, Lord, I'm going to go to Martha's house. She died of cancer. I'm going to take her some chicken. It's Thanksgiving. I'm taking turkey. A little piece of this pie. Martha, how you doing? In reality, you care less about Martha. It just feels good going to see Martha with a piece of pie. And Martha, the dying person, is going to think that you're a good person. But you ain't no good. You just get an ego feeling from Martha thinking that you are a good person. Isn't that deep? Even when you were saying earlier about the husband thing, and I talk to a lot of women, you're not the only one. I'm trying to hold my husband together. You're trying to hold him together not for him, but for you. You care less about him. And if he said, I'm going anyway, I'm leaving, you start crying. And he'll get a thrill out of you crying over him leaving because it's about him now. And then your crying, your tears are just about you. It's nothing about the other person. This makes sense a little bit? Yeah. A little bit. I'm telling you, get to know yourself, you're a mess. I love your idea about the radio show, by the way. I got you to say it's a fantastic idea. If done right, it'll work. But, okay, I saw here first and then here. But there's not one human being walking this earth that cares about another. Your own daddy, your own mama, your own children, your own wife, your own husband. You don't even love the dog. You just think the dog loves you. And you're in an animal state with that nature, so you're feeling all this love from the dog, and the dog wagging its tail and playing with you, can't wait to eat. And you're like, my dog loves me. But anyway.